Hey guys, welcome back to Windsor Time, and we're going to talk about a really fun Tudor today. But first, Noah, what's on your wrist?
Hey, how's it going, man? Today, we've been sitting here for a while. I don't know why I said it like that. Today, I am wearing my CWC Nomos, the club campus
CWC, Carolina Watch Club.
club. Yeah. Such a fun watch. I mean, this was one that came out in, was it 17,
I
18?
want to say, so the
18.
club was founded in 17, so it had to be at least 18,
Yeah,
probably.
18 or 19.
Such a special watch to all of us.
It
And
really is. It's not one that I wear a ton, but every time I do, it just feels so special and unique. This is one of either 33 or 35.
yeah,
So incredibly limited, and someday, maybe I retire off of it.
yeah.
I don't know, retire off of it.
You never know.
But it is a quite cool watch. What do you have on the wrist?
I am wearing my Patek Philippe 5940R,
Incredible.
perpetual calendar, kind of in this beautiful cushion-shaped case that
Yep.
just kind of under the radar, but at the same time just classy and does a little bit of everything. So
Absolutely.
love this watch.
So cool.
It is still set for January, and here we are in March, so that shows you how accurate I've been at setting it. But great watch to wear going into a leap year.
How long will that take you to set whenever you do
Not
set?
not long. No, I mean it's got
30
a little
minutes?
extra- No,
40 minutes?
No.
What?
1.5 minutes probably.
For
but-
someone who isn't Patek trained, how long would it take them to set it without breaking?
I mean,
something?
first of all, if you're just going to run the crown, which I wouldn't recommend if you're that far behind, it'd take a little while just due to the distance to today's date. But
Yeah.
no, I mean it's a very simple watch to set at the end of the day with the little pusher. But,
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I tend to. There's another person in our watch group that I give a hard time when they don't have their calendar set. So
Yeah.
guilty of it myself today.
That's okay. Chris doesn't
What
probably
can you
watch
do?
these videos.
There, yeah.
He won't know we're
We called
talking
him out
about
by
him.
name.
Anyway, but
Perfect.
that's an incredible piece. I remember when you picked that up. It's one of those watches. Whenever you see it, you go, "Oh, it's a," and then you
Yeah,
look
yeah.
a little bit closer, as
Yeah,
Ben
it's
Clymer would say.
yeah. Look a little closer,
And then a
just
little closer.
Spend a little bit of time with it on the wrist, and it really it's awesome.
Yeah,
and it's just a
incredible.
quiet, special piece, and it's kind of a shape that's currently missing in the collection of,
Yeah.
of Patek, I think. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll see it back in some form or fashion. So today we're talking about the Black Bay Bucherer edition.
Incredible.
And the original Bucherer edition, which, as we all know, Bucherer as a retailer has done kind of a blue-themed watch over the years with many different brands.
Yeah,
And I feel like those were always really special. But then at one point, they launched this Tudor Black Bay
yeah,
bronze, I should say, Black Bay bronze blue edition. And it really, at least to me, and granted, it could just be because I was a Tudor retailer, but to me, it really seemed like the first time that the entire world went kind of crazy over a Bucherer blue edition watch, as opposed to more like that particular Bucherer client.
absolutely.
And initially launched, obviously it's only a Bucherer, but it was not available in North America. So I can tell you how many both collectors and people in Carolina Watch Club and friends of ours, and how many people were after this watch. And you had kind
Yeah.
of two camps. You had people that were like, I'm going to buy one no matter what, and they were trading well over retail.
Yep.
Just going to buy it, get it shipped over, whatever. And then you had the other camp that was, I'm going to go seek out this watch on my own personal journey and buy it in Switzerland at Bucherer and put my own stamp of approval on it and have a story behind it.
Yep.
And this is one of those watches. We know the original owner. We know exactly where he got it. He got it at Bucherer in Lucerne, Switzerland, which is a really beautiful multi-level Bucherer store. And Lucerne is just a town that's just
Absolutely.
stunning. It's
Yeah.
just absolutely beautiful. And he has a really cool story behind it. And, it is now available with its full box papers, everything here. And, at the end of the day, this watch is now available in North America at Bucherer, which took over the Tourneau entity.
Sure.
So, but it's kind of like, in a way, the Dot 2 version of the watch. It's
Sure.
the same watch, but, minor changes. But it doesn't feel quite the same as finding the watch on your own on a journey in Europe, at least if you're a North American.
Yeah. That's the very special thing when we talk about these watches, whether it's this one or something else. It's so cliche to say, but, the destination is the journey. But I truly think with this, Tudor, when they reintroduced in, I think it was 2012 or 13 to the United States, There was a lot of cool marketing entities and assets around that launch, but then when this watch came out, 2015-ish, somewhere in there, we'll put it up on the screen. You really had a quite cool thing, and I think that's when you started to see the market shift towards this somewhat scarcity-driven hype watch model where you had to, first off, you had to know about the thing, and then you had to know where to go to get the thing, and then you had to be connected enough or have a lucky enough day to get that thing. And with this watch, when he picked it up, it was that, and I think it is something that is almost baked into it, right? Because this is just an object. It's a non-living thing, but at the same time, knowing the story of the journey that goes into it, I think makes this watch so special, even for the secondary owner who's going to get it right here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
It'll still be special to that person, but it'll forever be special to that original owner who went over to Europe, found it, and sought it out. And you're exactly right. Like when that watch came out, I feel like you see these market-specific things, and there's always been market-specific things, but this one really felt like it put that kind of entity on the map for you have to go seek it out versus just being able to put your name on it and order it and have it delivered wherever in the world. So
absolutely,
truly, I think they eased up a little bit, but at first, if you were not a local resident or at least some sort of local person, you couldn't really put your name on this thing. I mean, it was they were holding the line and making sure it went to people that were walking in as end users. And it had a lot of heat on it, and for good reason.
Yeah. I think there is an argument, now we've gone through the Snoopy Moonswatch just came out, 30 other versions.
I think the newest one just launched, was it this morning or yesterday? Didn't it?
Is there another one that came out?
Well,
that actually got into retail stores.
Yeah. I think it literally just hit the stores today, and it's like mayhem again somehow.
It is, and we could do we'll bring back the longer, I think, interview episodes at some point, but there's a real conversation around, I think, intentionality of buying watches, and this you want to go capitalism and economy and great, but like at the same time, when you're looking, and this is a very deep take, when you're buying these watches, are you buying them because you truly want them, or are you buying them for the Instagram photo? And I think this watch is a lovely early example of buying it for the right reasons, and then it happened to become cool as time goes on. And you mentioned right before we started filming, there's you can get this watch in the U.S. now, or maybe we're already filming. You can get this watch in the U.S. now, and that's wonderful. But to have something like this, where it was such a specific time in the watch industry, I got into watches in 2013, 2012, to see the arc of how they're talked about online now, how they're, truly revered, sometimes as status symbols, for better or worse.
Yeah.
This is marking, I think, such an incredible period of time where it was just kind of burgeoning out and becoming more known to the general public, but not the negative downside of someone just wanting to buy a piece to show off on their social media.
Yeah. Other interesting thing about this watch was it was one of the, not the first, but one of the earlier bronze editions of a watch. So bronze, right around this time, this was right before bronze really took off, and you saw almost every brand come out with their version of a bronze watch. You had kind of that Panerai Bronzo, a long time ago, that's been a theme within Panerai. Tudor launched their original bronze piece, I believe, with the orange, kind of almost like caramel colored burnt bezel, and then this was really taking the heat of the excitement of a bronze case that's going to patina over time and have you, once again, kind of like your own journey to get the watch. You're going to have your own story on the watch depending on where you've been, your personal acidity, all that stuff's going to affect the watch. So it was, not only was it a watch that you could only get in a few places, it's also really exciting material that now is used more prevalently. But at the time, that was like, you were like, I have to have that bronze Tudor. And I don't want the one that you can just go buy anywhere. I want the one that you can only get at Bucherer. I need to fly over to Europe and hopefully stumble upon. So
absolutely.
The other interesting thing about it is, I mean, it does represent what we see happen in the watch world a lot, which is something comes out, it's rare to get it. You can't find it everywhere. You can't just order it. So price goes above MSRP, people get in a frenzy.
Yep.
But a few years later, things settle down. It's still a very exciting watch, but now it can be had at a pretty reasonable value that's basically MSRP or a little above.
Yeah.
And now it's, really a collector's piece, especially if it's one that has come from Europe as opposed to North America, in my opinion.
You can quite literally have this one here. It'll
Yeah,
be available
literally,
depending on how quickly you watch this video.
And great example, and comes from a good home and a good heart.
It does. Absolutely.
So I think that's going to do it for today. But you can check this out on our website, Windsor Time, and be sure to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time. Looking forward to it.